It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here.
I miss you too,
and I'm really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here
I
too.
miss you too, Ernie.
Yeah, me too. Tonight, it'll be the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Dallas Mavericks.
We are here at the American Airlines Center with the crowd going, and nothing tips. And KD is certainly a rarity, DA. His length and height and athleticism makes him a nightmare for any team he goes up against. And here we are for opening night, folks, something everyone has been waiting for. Fans, players, broadcasters, too. Clark, just how excited are these players to get this season started?
Well, as excited as we are, Kevin, because it is something special for the opening of a season. It's a new start. It's a reset. It's a fresh beginning, and that breeds an excitement that's unique in and of itself. And that's really what the players work hard all summer for, is the opportunity to perform at their best during the regular season.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. And so in the game for the Hawks, Steph Curry's out there with Wood. Then it's Rodman, and it's Durant, and it's Shaq in at the 5 down low. Nowitzki sets a screen for Matthews. Nowitzki outside. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Here's Rodman with the shot. Mejri with the rebound. Now here's Matthews. Not a lot of room. The drive by Smith. And it's Smith finishing it off.
You can't give Smith a clear lane to the hole, Kevin. I mean, when he sees it, he gets right into the defense and takes advantage of his speed.
The shot. Wood can't hit. The Mavericks have gone 2 or 3 here to start out the game. Outside Matthews. Tipped away. Stolen by O'Neal. Here's Rodman, and then Rodman with the dunk.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant, and this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Smith against Curry. Nowitzki with the screen on Durant. 4 on the shot clock. The 11-footer. Barnes can't get it to go.
The defense did a really good job of choking off the middle there once he got inside.
And if there's one thing the Hawks have hung their hats on, it's been their defense.
Very disciplined across the board. They take charges, they protect the paint, they do a great job with their communication. And even though they get their share of blocks and steals, I think they do a great job of avoiding those cheap fouls.
And breaking down some numbers here, the hustle stats for the Hawks.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
Here's Durant. Makes it off the glass. Durant's got 5 now.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Smith dishes to Nowitzki. Screen by Smith. They set the pick. It's stolen by Curry. Here's Durant. And counted, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just a great ball movement.
A different look for Dallas. Noel's checked in for Mejri. Seth Curry comes in for Wesley Matthews. And Barea subbed in for Smith. And Atlanta will go for a different look here. Russell, he's checked in for Shaq. Bird comes in for Rodman. Michael Jordan, he's checked in for Money. And Allen Iverson is subbed in for Curry. And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. And after Kevin Durant made his decision to leave the Oklahoma City Thunder, he instantly became one of the most polarizing players, it seemed, Greg, in the NBA.
Listen, Kevin Durant has always been a star in this league, but now he's become the story. It's something that he can handle but doesn't try to seek out. Was able to prove all the naysayers wrong and just having another amazing season.
Johnson, he's checked in for Kevin Durant.
Taking a look here at the numbers for Curry, how he did last season. Averaged about 13 points a game last season, 2 assists and 2 rebounds. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go. I like what I'm seeing right now.
And play stops. Whistle on what looks to be an illegal screen.
Yeah, and those illegal screens have really become a point of emphasis for the officials.
And it seems like they've been more than willing to crack down on those. Makes it tough to get as physical as you like to out there.
Curry against Jordan. Shoots over Curry. And the shot no good, a bit short. Mavericks trailed by 10. Over to the wing. Barea against Iverson. Nowitzki a screen. Curry passes to Nowitzki. 5 to shoot. And here's Barea outside. And that's collected by Bird. And the Hawks with possession. They're on a 16-4 run right now. That shot missing. So the Mavericks will take it the other way. And this matchup with the Hawks, it's their first game of the NBA's regular season.
Yeah, interconference matchup. Two teams that'll see each other only twice on the schedule.
Yeah, and Greg, this is a big game for both teams. I mean, they don't see each other often, and you know they both want to get a win in this one.
Curry outside, trains the three-pointer. Curry's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Mavs.
Oh, a good open look, and he sprays it home from 3.
Iverson kicks to Johnson. Back to Iverson, 14 feet away. Basket is good, the assist from Johnson. Iverson's got his first 2 points.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possession.
Jordan against Curry. He dishes it to Barea. The shot missing. Iverson with some nice D. Just 1 second between the shot clock and game clock. Jordan with it. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Back to Iverson. And Jordan has it in the corner. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Nowitzki. The 3 from Iverson. And so it's Kevin Durant making headlines and highlights for Atlanta. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. Back to the action after this word. Highly regarded 5-star recruit coming out of high school.
There's obviously ways that you can get better as a player from year to year and find different ways.
And he's certainly become not only a complete player, but the kind of true star guys that every team is looking to build around.
You know, when he was drafted, Steph was viewed by most scouts as a great shooter. Not a centerpiece, but boy, were they wrong.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And when you consider how Atlanta is doing, your thoughts?
I mean, an interesting first quarter. The pressure D seems to be causing a lot of turnovers.
Just jumped all over him, Greg. I mean, pounced on him, using their length and quickness to come away with those steals.
On the court for Atlanta, Michael Jordan is out there with Bird. Then it's Russell. Then it's Iverson. And it's Johnson in at the shooting guard.
You know, Nerlens Noel made it pretty clear he was not happy with the logjam at the center position in Philly. Last season's trade cleared a path for him to show what he can do.
Russell, a screen on Barea. Here's Johnson, and 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And the foul called on the Dallas Mavericks. And Noel has the mobility to defend 4s or 5s. The Sixers had tried him some at the power forward. But, well, you know, Clark, it really wasn't a fit.
No, it really was. I mean, he's a shot blocker and finisher first. I mean, you want him protecting the rim. It's clear this guy is a center.
And he makes the first. A different look for Dallas. Measury comes in for Harrison Barnes. And it's Matthews in for J.J. Barea. Atlanta also making some changes here. Shaq's checked in for Russell. McHale comes in for Jordan. Hardaway is subbed in for Iverson. And both free throws good for Johnson. Clark, when you played, you had some great footwork in the paint. Which big men today impress you with their footwork in the paint, in the post?
Man, I tell you, one of the guys I've always loved watching do his thing inside is Zach Randolph. I tell you what, he grits and grinds as well as anybody, and his touch and footwork exquisite because he's not an overpowering or overwhelming athlete. Karl Anthony Towns much the same way. Fairly low to the ground in how they play, but extremely effective in being able to get the position and shot they want. And Enes Kanter, a guy who's starting to impress with his footwork as well.
Smith checked in for Dallas. And the Hawks making a change here as well.
What's up?
Durant's checked in.
You know, one of the things I really enjoy is watching guys work on their game, and Noel has done that. Not only in becoming a lockdown post defender, but a dependable scorer, too.
And we've got an update here, so let's check in with David Aldridge reporting from the sideline.
Kevin, Rick Carlisle is one of the most respected head coaches in the league, especially for his X's and O's. But Bucks coach Jason Kidd, who played for Carlisle, praised his disposition. He's never up and never down, Kidd said. There's no panic in it. He gives you that sense of security to go out there and make a play. Kevin?
Gotta love Coach Carlisle, D.A., an even-keel guy who places a lot of trust in his players.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Clearly just an example of a different mindset between these teams.
Dallas calls timeout.
That was a good time to call the timeout to try to settle everybody down and get back into their offensive rhythm. They've been coughing up the rock an awful lot.
And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. The baseline J. That one's in there. The Hawks lead is cut down now to just 9 in the basket from Farrell.
And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
Yeah, I like the quick release, Greg. He does a nice job getting it up quickly, especially when he's facing a bigger defender.
Hardaway kicks to O'Neal. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Here's Matthews, and Matthews throws it down.
And Matthews is a wily, crafty defender. Phenomenal at knowing when to go for steals using his body and his quick hands to disrupt the offense.
And Dirk Nowitzki last season passing 30,000 points for his career. As Clarkie enters his 40s, how much longer do you think he can keep it up?
Well, I don't know. He probably want to play until he's 50. And if he was able to, the Mavericks would certainly have a spot for him. But I think, 40, 41, that's a pretty high bar for NBA players. But if anybody could do it, Dirk might hang around that long. Cannot give him that much room from mid-range. They got to feel lucky he didn't knock that one down.
Drills the three-pointer.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter. And now you can see him
getting into a rhythm.
Smith the pass to Measuring. Smith dishes to Matthews. There's a screen by Noel. Shot clock at 6. Rebounded by Hardaway. The Hawks leading by 10. Over Smith. They get it back. Johnson kicks to Shaq. No good. Shot missing. Mavericks have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. Smith outside. Good D by Hardaway. Atlanta's gone 2 of 3 when they've stepped beyond the arc in the second quarter. Here's O'Neal, and there's the bucket. Staying with it on the offensive glass, getting it done. And now it's a 12-point Hawks lead. The Mavericks shooting at an even 50% from the floor here in the second quarter. Noel sets a screen for Smith. Measuring kicks to Noel, and slam dunk by Noel.
Simply got to love the way Noel finishes his dunks. I mean, so strong around the cup.
And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks.
Yeah, you can sense he wasn't happy with how things are going here. Probably looking to change it up a bit.
Nothing wrong with that. You got to be flexible. When something isn't working, you adjust, you modify, you go to something else. That's what the best coaches do.
And a new group getting ready for Dallas. Dirk Nowitzki, he's checked in for Noel. Barnes comes in for Wesley Matthews. Curry's checked in for Yogi Ferrell. And Barea subbed in for Smith.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Everybody on the same page, completely in sync, tremendous communication and awareness.
Nowitzki gets a wide open look. It's good. Great play set up by Barea. Nowitzki's got himself on the board with 3 there. Curry kicks to Russell. Hawks passing it around. Back to Curry. Pulls up on the wing. Again, the Hawks good for 2.
Man, I have great appreciation for the IQ of Stephen Curry. I mean, once the ball hits his hands, guys, you know he's thinking about letting it go.
Barea kicks to Nowitzki. Pass to Curry. Barnes against Jordan. Barnes right side. The second chance effort, and it's good on the way in. Barnes has got his second bucket of the night.
Barnes is strong and athletic, aggressive on the glass, not afraid to get in there and mix it up.
3-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Curry, good.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
Yeah, no let up. The killer instinct on display, trying to put this team away. I love the tenacity.
Now here's Curry. Passes it to Barea. Up in time. No good on that last second attempt there. And so it's Atlanta looking at a 13-point lead heading into the next quarter. They've got their field goal percentage to thank for that. They've been hot from all over the floor tonight. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Steph. I know Coach Stress is taking care of the basket.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year. The first half was all about Stephen Curry. He had 12 points, 2 assists, and also 3 steals. His last game out, he was just not himself. But tonight, he has rounded right back into form with a very solid first half.
Cars crossing back and forth over the Margaret Hunt Hill Bridge as we welcome you back to Dallas. Atlanta leading by 13. Smith Jr. runs the point with Matthews at his side. They're the backcourt. Barnes at the 3 with Dirk at the 4. And it's Measuring in at the 5. So that's who Rick Carlisle starts the second half with. It's good on the putback.
Oh, big time putback there. What a great motor on this guy.
There is no one who goes after those rebounds harder.
And night in and night out, That's what he provides.
Matthews passes to Smith. Nowitzki with the screen on Curry. 6 on the shot clock. Smith, no luck. Atlanta's gone to three-point range 7 times tonight, knocked down 5 of them.
And when you look at Dennis Smith Jr., you aren't blown away by the physicality at first, but he's incredibly gifted for a player his size. Great speed and quickness to blow by defenders.
And Matthews streaks down the floor. Fantastic score in the open court. He can get to the rim or hurt you with the three.
Here's Durant, and the rebound goes to Nowitzki. Mavericks trail by 13. And Matthews kicks to Barnes. Back to Matthews. There's a good screen. Rebounded by the Hawks. And with Dennis Smith, it isn't just burst of speed, it's his play in the open floor and Greg running end-to-end, which is phenomenal.
Yeah, he also just jumps and finishes at the rim like a shooting guard. He's only probably 6'2", 6'3", but he gets up in the air like a wing player. He's a lot like Derrick Rose was when he burst on the scene.
Dallas calls timeout. Now let's take a look at how the shots have been divided up between three-point shots and two-point shots for the Hawks.
They are shooting the lights out from beyond on really limited attempts. So you have to think they ought to feed those hot hands on the perimeter and see if they can keep this thing going.
First minute and a half of basketball here in the third quarter. Feeds to Barnes. Screen by Smith. Off the screen. Barnes can't get it to go. Atlanta leading by 16. Here's Wood. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the layup. Wood's got his third basket of the night right there. Matthews dishes to Smith. Clark, a lot of former players had a specific instance when they knew they were special, the way they played the game of basketball. Did you ever have a moment like that where you realized that you could make it as a player?
Yeah, there was a time when that became more realistic to me, Kevin. And I grew up in Cleveland, and during the summers, a lot of the Cleveland Cavaliers would stay in the area and play pickup basketball to stay in shape. And I got a chance to bump heads with a lot of those guys, Jim Jones and the late Terry Furlow, Austin Carr, Bingo Smith, Mike Mitchell. And I was only 15, 16 years old. And while those guys were going at half speed, it gave me the encouragement that I might be able to get to where they were if I continued to work hard and stay healthy. So at 15 or 16, during one of those summers, I began to realize that I might have a chance to realize the dream of being an NBAer.
Curry, that shot off, so the Mavericks will take it the other way. They host the Kings after this game. That'll be the latter half of this two-game homestand. And measuring now top of the key, they need this, and the jam by Dirk Nowitzki.
One of the things that makes Nowitzki so great and a surefire Hall of Famer is unselfishness. He's constantly looking to set screens for his teammates.
They set the pick. Durant with it, guarded now by Barnes. Durant kicks to O'Neal. The basket good off the assist from Durant. Shaq's got 6.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
The drive by Barnes. And it's Shaq with the rebound. O'Neal's got 6 rebounds here tonight.
Seems like he's in a hurry. He's kind of rushing his shot. Clearly out of rhythm right now. That's a big reason why they're losing.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Nerlens Noel checks in for Measury. Seth Curry comes in for Dirk Nowitzki. Farrell's checked in for Wesley Matthews. And Barea subbed in for Smith. That's good from Durant. And the Hawks, known for their equal opportunity drive and kick offensive style. But Greg, their three-point shooting percentage has cratered the last few seasons.
Yeah, and the way the league is going, that's something they'll have to fix. The free throw line, also an issue for this group. It's clear they're in search of more shooting.
To the inside. Loses his man off the screen and lays it up and in.
Hard not to commend the confidence of Barea. For a point guard, he's an excellent scorer, particularly inside.
Jordan inside. Set it up with the fake, but it's offline. Curry passes to Barea. Dallas moving it around. Durant against Barnes. Back to Noel. Over Russell. And Noel with the basket on the assist by Barnes. And it's 7 points for Nerlens Noel. Jordan kicks to Durant. Back to Jordan. 1:03 left here in the third quarter. And he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle too.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
And when you make 5 in a row in close like that, it also takes pressure off your perimeter guys too.
And the Hawks making a change here. Johnson's checked in.
Well, you hear a lot of disparaging, hating remarks directed towards jump shooting teams, but the Mavericks make no apologies. I mean, that's their game offensively, and that's their story, and they're sticking to it. Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
Here's the screen. Jordan dishes to Bird. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And you look at the numbers, whether it's three-pointers or mid-range shots, spot up or pull-up, you name it. If it's a jumper, Dallas will live off it.
And you know what, Kevin? If the NBA game was played more like a game of horse, they would be a powerhouse. And, you know, with their defensive scheme clogging the paint, they dare opponents to get into a shoot it out with them because they feel like they win that game most times.
Nothing seems to be going down for him today.
Barea with a wide open look. Another miss by Barea. Johnson, that's for two. That one doesn't drop. And so it's Atlanta cruising into the quarter break with a 22-point lead. From the field, they have been outstanding, amazing shooting. That's what has them headed to a blowout. And don't go away. We'll be right back. In the fourth quarter, the final quarter of play can change everything. Maverick shooting 47%, pretty solid. Fourth quarter on the court for the Hawks. They've got Bird. Johnson is out there with Russell. Then it's Johnson, and it's Iverson in at the point. A drive by Barnes. The putback. Atlanta leading by 22. Johnson kicks to Iverson to the middle, and Johnson with the stuff.
And he pulls off the Houdini to make that catch and slam it through.
Stupendous alley-oop.
And the crowd got their jaws dropped on that one. Total disbelief.
Here's Barnes. And the shot no good, a bit short.
It's a +5 advantage for them in rebounding after that one.
It's good.
Resplendent release on the floater. When executed correctly, it's a beautiful, effective shot.
Guys are looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And the Mavericks call time here. And Clark, when you were growing up, was there one player in pro basketball you tried to emulate or model your game after?
I really didn't pattern my game after any particular player. I tried to piece and parcel from a lot of players. I love the gracefulness of Lou Alcindor, now known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, when I first saw him back in the late 60s, at his size and the way he could move and his touch was impressive. And then as I became more of a forward in high school, you looked at guys like Magic Johnson, and I looked at Marcus Johnson out at UCLA. Dr. J was a versatile forward as well. George McGinnis, who ended up becoming a really good friend of mine as I got drafted by the Pacers. Those guys that were big and mobile and had ball skills and shooting skills and rebounded, those were guys that I tried to play like.
Here's Farrell. 6 to shoot. Powell for 3. Here's Withy. And terrific work on the offensive glass when he picks up 2.
How about the perseverance there, the extra effort on that offensive glass?
Johnson kicks to Johnson. Here's Bird. Pass to McHale. Good. And it's Bird picking up the assist.
Well, I think he shot the ball well, guys, but I don't think he shot it enough. The more shots he gets from here on out, the more they'll stretch out this lead.
Harris kicks to Finney-Smith. The feed to Powell. Here's Withy. Second shot opportunity. He lays it in.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
Hardaway kicks to McHale. Nice pass. Led him to the rack perfectly for the layup.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Yeah, and you can tell they feel like they can get inside whenever they want to. I mean, it's been carte blanche, full menu for them, and the defense really not offering any resistance.
Farrell kicks to Harris. Powell with the screen. Lets a floater go. Harris misses. Atlanta's gone 6 of 8 on three-pointers in the game, an outstanding 75% mark. Hardaway against Harris. Bird with the bucket.
Boy, I like how fast, how quickly he went up with the shot, realizing that his man had no chance.
Dallas has gotten off to an 0 for 2 start from downtown here in the fourth quarter. Finney-Smith kicks to Withy. Powell, the pass to Withy. Over McHale. Withy, no good. For Atlanta, they've gone 5 of 6 from the field to start the fourth quarter on a roll. Hardaway kicks to Johnson. Bird outside. And the pass to McHale. Back to Bird. Lets the 3 fly. Powell pulls it in. The Mavericks shooting for the game at 42%. Farrell passes to Harris. Here's Farrell. There's 1:47 left in the fourth quarter. Bucket is good.
Boy, I like seeing the ball get to that spot. It doesn't get much better than that.
Atlanta's shooting is beautiful right now. 60% for the game. Pretty much everyone out there has been stroking it. Hardaway kicks to Bird. Back to Hardaway. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Hawks.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And looking at the trajectory of the season, this is the first of 2 meetings on the year. So this will be a solid win to go up 1-0 in the season series here against the Mavericks.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for Steph Curry.
He affected the game so much with the way he was able to come out and get steals and extra possessions for his team.
And here's Bird for 3, and it's good. Assisting on the play was Hardaway.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
And, you know, this is what's needed at this point in the game, Greg. The great teams know how to close it out.
In the corner, Powell with it. And right away, they match it with a 3-pointer of their own.
Powell playing with a lot of confidence because he knows he has the trust of his teammates. They've got confidence in him to take these shots.
Bird outside. Johnson sets the screen for Johnson. McHale. And again, it's Atlanta.
Tremendous effort here on the road. That plane ride home is going to be sweet.
No doubt about it, partner, but unfortunately, the flip side of that coin, the drive home for the hometown fans, going to be rather flat.
And so it's the Hawks taking care of business in this one. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
Hey, that's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thank you, Kevin. Steph, everyone knows you do a lot of different things for this team, but what would you say your primary focus is?
Trying to just take responsibility of my defensive duties. Reaching the point guard, force them in a different situation, difficult shots. Being our first, line of defense as they're bringing the ball up, putting pressure on them, and trying to take them out their offense. That's a lot of great point guards in this league, so I got to be able to do that all year and trying to get a good start to that this season.
That's what franchise players do, play at both ends. Thank you, Steph. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. That concludes the first game of the NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
The 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Tonight, it'll be the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Charlotte Hornets. Taking a look at the Hornets, they got their season rolling with a nice win in their first game. Now we'll find out if they can build on it and open with back-to-back victories.
Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Well, the weekend has officially begun, and we welcome you to this 2K Sports presentation of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Brett Barry and Greg Anthony. We've got David Aldridge reporting from the sideline. They're coming off a great victory on Wednesday, and there wasn't much question as to how that game was going to turn out. They absolutely put the hammer down on them.
And anytime you come off the bench, you know your role, and that night it was about scoring.
Well, good collective team unity, everyone pitching in, so trying to win for one another. That's a good thing.
Looking at the starting five for the Atlanta Hawks. O'Neal is out there with Dennis Rodman, and there's Money. And it's Durant, and it's Curry in at the one. Second free throw, no good. They getting some early returns on the season, Brent, for top teams that are already looking great. How early is too early to start thinking about things like home court advantage?
Well, it's kind of like Christmas, Kevin. It's never too early to start thinking about the home court advantage. You know, a lot of veteran teams will tell you that they're not concerned about whether their game will travel come playoff time. But home court advantage is something that they would all like to have. Trust me.
The Hawks with a quick start to this game. It's a 5-point game. Durant just inside the line. Here's Rodman, and Dennis Rodman with the slam.
And, guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, his reputation. Grinding away 100% effort all the time.
And then uses his explosiveness once he's gathered the rebound to throw it down. I still love the shot selection. The defense wasn't really a factor. Need to be more aggressive guarding the mid-range.
O'Neal. That's tipped.
And you're just not going to see him do that very often. Usually when he rises up, there's a guarantee it's going down.
Oh, and the D did not make that any easier. Can't fault the shooter for missing. That's a tough shot.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Now here's Lamb. Screen by Howard. There's a good screen. Just 5 to shoot. No good from Lamb.
Yeah, scoreless here early after their first 4 shots. They right now are searching for a bucket.
In this first period, they've been aggressive and extremely focused.
I don't think you ever expect to carve out such a big lead early on in a game like this, but let's see if they can maintain momentum.
And a wide open look for Walker. Loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper.
Well, at 6'11" and 265, that's a big guy out there setting some screens to open up some space.
Good.
And looking at this Charlotte roster, really the strength of it is their perimeter play. A good collection of dynamic playmakers and shooters from that point guard to small forward position. They are the bulk of this team's offensive threats.
Now here's Walker, who picked up 33 points in their last one against Detroit. Durant kicks to Curry. Shoots over Walker. It's Curry. That time on the assist by Durant.
Because Steph moves so well, anytime he can get some separation, he starts to feel once he gets the ball, he's going to find some points.
So Charlotte calls timeout. They're first. Greg, the Hornets were strong outside, but weak inside. I guess they've addressed that weakness, going for Dwight Howard.
Yeah, they went out and got what they felt could be an anchor on that front line. And listen, he's going to provide that rim presence that they lacked a season ago. The question is, can he also give them some punch offensively? Fantastic ball movement. They're picking them apart with their passing.
Here's Wood, and he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Yeah, pounding it inside once again. They have taken over this game physically.
Well, it's so nice to have the early lead. This is where you want to stick with what's working until somebody shuts you down.
Now here's Zeller. And Walker kicks to Williams. Rodman with the block. And here we go. Here's Bird. And it's Bird with the jam.
Aggressive coming out of the gate here, guys. Wow.
And already the lead is significant. Excellent play on both ends.
And it's out of bounds to the Hornets as Charlotte retains possession. Frank Kaminsky, he's checked in for the Hornets. Kid Gilchrist comes in for Nicholas Batum. 34 seconds left to play here in the first. The steal. And he throws it down hard with one hand.
And from the opening tip, they just crushed it. You see it now on the scoreboard.
Just incredible flow offensively. Everyone's doing their part. Let's see if they can sustain this early momentum.
Bird outside. Here's O'Neal. And the Hawks getting another basket right there.
It's contagious. Every guy on the team working to keep this streak alive.
It's so fun when you're rolling like this. You just want it to continue as long as possible. And right now, fingertips are ablaze.
And so it's the Atlanta Hawks in the gym, always working to improve. We asked him where that
comes from me being 8 years old and
year-by-year improvements until he became the best player in the league and won an MVP. Now, that first NBA championship.
Right, Kevin. I mean, he's definitely proven in terms of the talent, the skill, and athleticism, and that competitive spirit to be considered still among the very best.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. And a very convincing performance here from the Hawks so far.
Aggressive defense in that first period. They forced several miscues.
You just start to wonder, how did we get to this score at the end of one? I think those steals really established momentum in their favor.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. And so in the game for the Hawks, they've got Bird. Johnson is out there with Iverson. Then it's Russell. And it's Jordan in at the small forward position. Monk dishes to Kid Gilchrist. And Walker kicks to Kaminsky. Here's Jordan. And it's Jordan with the jam.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
Well, it fires up your teammates and the fans when you make plays like that out in the open court and explosive.
Atlanta leading by 23.
And when you look at Kid Gilchrist, and he is certainly known for his ability to defend and attack the rim. He's a terrific athlete, and he uses that athleticism on both sides of the floor, and just the prototype when you look at that hybrid forward position.
Walker with a screen for Monk. The shot by Kaminsky. Nobody around. Misses off the left iron.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Charlotte calls timeout. And you look at the size and game of Kid Gilchrist. He is the opposite of what most GMs look for in that three spot. But Greg, he makes it work.
Yeah, I mean, most teams want a tall three that can stretch the floor. Kid Gilchrist isn't that, but still gets playing time because he's effective when on the floor. If you play defense like he does, you're going to find a way to get on the floor.
What about the courage right there, sacrificing his body to get the high percentage attempt at the rim?
That's tipped. From deep, Walker. And again, the Hornets missing. The Hawks have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. And he gets it to go.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Now the pass to Zeller. Feeds to Monk. Charlotte moving it around. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. And last season, I think, Greg, there was a time when Kemba Walker was playing basketball, you know, as well as any point guard in the NBA.
No doubt. I mean, not to say he's the best in our league, but he is certainly climbing up the list. You can't ignore his impact on this team. Has worked to improve each season he's been in the league.
Catching up on the changes for Charlotte. Dwight Howard, he's checked in for Kaminsky. Batum comes in for Kid Gilchrist. And it's Lamb in there for Monk. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
He's just such a specimen out there, Dwight Howard. A physically imposing presence on both ends of the floor.
And you look back for Dwight Howard at his time in Orlando, Los Angeles, and Houston. A fair amount of acrimony when he left those teams. Brent, was it all circumstance? Was it something he created?
Well, I think at this point for Dwight Howard, we got to look at what it is that he's offering up to teams. And I know he's a specialist in terms of still rebounding the ball, still being a defensive force. But are there too many deficiencies in his game that the overall impact is not a positive one? Another fresh start for Dwight Howard this season.
Atlanta making a switch here. Durant's checked in. Walker the pass to Batum. Kicks to Lamb. Howard with a screen on Durant. Clock at 6. And stolen by Russell. That one goes. Count it.
Howard establishing some confidence now down low. Just get him the ball and let him take care of business.
And Bill Russell slams it in.
And although an undersized center, more than making up for it with some serious hops.
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. And if you're wondering where the points are coming from here tonight, here's a breakdown in the scoring between the front court and back court tonight for Atlanta.
And they haven't needed a whole lot of work done inside because of what their guards are doing. It's been an outstanding performance by the fellas in that backcourt.
Here's Batum, and Jordan sends it back. And here's the fast break. Russell leading the way. Chalk up 2 there. 6 point for Iverson.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
Passes it to Lamb. There's a screen by Williams. Howard can't hit.
Yeah, I think the defense made an impact on that play, making the shooter feel a bit uncomfortable on release.
Durant dishes to Johnson. Here's Jordan, and there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. That's a foul on Charlotte. The Hawks have made 1 of 3 free throws in the game.
Numbers last year for them, just about 73%, so the bottom third of the league.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
The first one falls. And so Jordan nails both of them. Walker. And no good that time. And so it's the Atlanta Hawks with a huge 37-point lead to end the quarter. They've been playing some ferocious defense. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Mike Booten.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime
The first
Show.
half in the books. This is Ernie Johnson. This is Shaquille O'Neal. This is Ken Smith. Welcome back.
Ken,
as we break down the action. Atlanta came ready to play. Some lights-out offense and defense on display as they went on an 11-0 run to start. They came on extremely strong as the quarter was winding down, nailing all 6 of their last field goal attempts to close out the first. Then in quarter number 2, it was all hands on deck, and what a show it was. And that's all we can do for now. As the second half begins, we get you back to Kevin Harlan.
Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. What a game we're seeing from Michael Jordan.
Yeah, good things happen when you maintain composure. Their shot selection has been extremely disciplined.
Hey, Greg, is there a shot that he's taken that has been out of the flow of the offense? I don't think so.
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. And over the past decade, we've seen the creation of several super teams. How hard is it to manage the various egos and make sure the touches are the same, or at least they understand why the touches are being doled out the way they are?
I think the teams that have great management and great coaches that are in touch with these guys, Kevin, understand what type of player are you getting, doing your homework and understanding, are these guys in a situation in their careers where they're still needing to prove something, or are they ready to get down to the business of winning? If it's about winning, that ego goes out the door.
Inside, Williams at the 4, Howard in the middle. Kemba Walker is out there with Jeremy Lamb, and it's Batum in at the small forward. So that's the lineup for Charlotte. Lamb with the ball. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Batum wide open, he fires. A picture-perfect screen play, and the jumper's good.
Oh, nice screen. Really a poor defensive reaction, and the obvious result.
Yeah, when you fail to get over the top, more than likely that jumper is going to go down.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
It's stolen by Rodman. And now Curry running the floor all by himself. That one goes. Count it. Curry's got 9 points.
I mean, you got to be honest, though. The transition defense just has been lacking.
Screen by Howard. And it's Walker penetrating. It's blocked by Shaq.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
For Atlanta, they have shot 3 of 5 at the foul line.
Shooting 2.
The first free throw is good. And some changes here for the Hornets. Kaminsky is checked in for Howard. Kid Gilchrist comes in for Nicholas Batum. And Monk's subbed in for Jeremy Lamb. And a switch here also for Atlanta. Bird's checked in. So he gets them both. And one thing that's a constant for Atlanta, great activity defensively.
Well, there's a system offensively for the Hawks, but there is a system of rules for them also defensively. So they did a good job of being in good position, setting themselves up to defend plays, to get steals and deflections and draw charges. And they did a great job last year with the addition of Dwight Howard being a better rebounding team. It's something they need to try to hang their hat on this year as well.
And Walker kicks to Williams. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker.
And they are very comfortable running their offense through Walker. And you can see why. Drops a sick dime right there. That pass was right on the money.
Good on the bucket. 11 points for Steph Curry.
I love the pace he's playing with, letting his offense come to him naturally and then building upon this lead for his team.
Monk kicks to Kaminsky. Charlotte moving it around. Pass to Walker. 4 on the clock. Here's Monk. Pass to Kaminsky. Dishes to Monk. There's a screen. There's Walker with the 3. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And you got to appreciate just the presence of mind there. Monk demonstrating solid court awareness by finding the open man.
Wood passes to Curry. And they come right back with their own three-pointer. Curry's got a pair of threes now here in the third for Atlanta. Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
I like seeing Monk set his teammates up. A part of his game that I think he's got to continue to improve.
And last season, Greg, one big issue for the Hornets was their bench.
And Charlotte tried their best to address that issue this past offseason. And it just goes to show that you need to have a complete roster to compete. A lot of games were given away by the Hornets last year by losing ground when the starters left the court.
Cody Zeller's checked in for Marvin Williams. Atlanta's gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. Curry dishes to Johnson. From the baseline, Russell. It's rebounded by Charlotte. They put up a nice win against Detroit the last time out.
And always tough on the road, but that attack mindset that they brought offensively, I really felt like that set them apart.
Yeah, sometimes when you're pushing the action, you can see some great teamwork, and then all of a sudden the individuals on your team can take over. All of that here tonight.
Michael Jordan is checked in for the Hawks. Atlanta's gone into the three-point range 4 times since halftime and buried 2 of them. It's stolen by Monk. And they're pushing it up for the finish. And then Monk with the jam.
And how about Monk there? You better get in front of him when he's in attack mode. If you allow him to get to that launching pad, it is too little, too late.
Here's Curry with the 3. It's good again, and an excellent 7 for 8 shooting night so far.
Defensively, this is what you know. He's coming off a hot game and looking to keep it rolling.
And you could try to key in on him, but that's tough. They run plays that routinely give him makeable looks.
Pick by Zeller. Just 5 on the clock. There's the screen, and here's Walker outside. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. The Hawks on top, running away with this one. And we'll have the start of the fourth quarter for you as soon as we get back from this short break. Atlanta's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. And so in the game for the Hawks, Johnson is out there with McHale. Then it's Jordan. Then it's Magic Johnson. And it's Hardaway in at the point. Carter Williams against Hardaway. Carter Williams kicks to Monk. Over to the left wing. Clock at 4. There's Bacon. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It goes on Kevin McHale. Well, we all know, Brent, you grew up in a real basketball environment. What affected watching your dad and competing against your brothers and being in that conversation at the dinner table have on the development of your playing style?
Well, I think first and foremost what comes to mind, Kevin, is just competing. And it wasn't just competing at basketball. It was wiffle ball in the backyard, soccer in the fall, baseball in the spring, Monopoly during the weekends. So anything we could get our hands on that had to do with the game, yeah, it was about that competition.
And what do you do now in retirement? What do you find to stimulate the competitive side?
Well, I beat my kids in Monopoly, I could tell you that.
So he picks up just 1 from the line that time.
And the Hawks in the last couple seasons with some roster turnover, established veterans departing, and now with Millsap leaving, they have embraced a complete rebuild.
Making the pass to Carter Williams. Off the pick. Here's Zeller. He feeds it to Carter Williams. To the wing on the left. Down low, Zeller. And the dunk by Zeller.
I tell you what, that's an excellent pass there. Carter Williams almost with like a sixth sense to see the play as it develops.
Jordan can't get it to go. And the Hawks traded Howard and lost Paul Millsap in short time. So the rebuild, it would appear, is on for Atlanta.
Yeah, and it seems like they feel good with how they've approached it. You know, you got to commit to turning things over and starting anew. And the Hawks have taken the first steps to building towards the future. And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Atlanta's gone 6 of 11 when they've taken the three-point shot tonight. Very respectable. Lobs it up for Jordan.
And I don't care what his size is. You cannot forget to box him out. He's just got a nose for the ball, and he is fearless in attacking the glass.
There's the pick. Monk, no one around him. The three-pointer, no good. For Atlanta, they've gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Johnson can't hit.
I give the defense a C+ on that possession, but still, I'm sure he's upset he missed.
There's the pass to Bacon. Over Jordan. Charlotte, no good that time either. Hawks shooting has been just fantastic, around 65% tonight, getting exactly what they want when they want it. McHale kicks to Johnson. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Shoots over Kid Gilchrist. A shot by Johnson, no good. Here's Bacon, guarded by Jordan. Carter Williams kicks to Kid Gilchrist. Ball's knocked loose. Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession. Kaminsky, he's checked in for Michael Kidd Gilchrist. Kevin Durant's checked in for the Hawks. Money comes in for Magic Johnson. Here's Hardaway.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the Hawks.
It was a standout performance across the board.
I mean, it was like watching a cat play with a mouse. They were able to do more or less whatever they wanted.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And against a conference opponent, always good to take that first win of the season series to establish a psychological edge.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and look at the stats, just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Steph Curry.
just an outpouring of points from him. Nobody could do much to keep him from dropping it in.
Here's McHale, lays it up and banks it in.
Yeah, with this lead, that's probably going to do it. Fans heading for the exits.
The team came in fired up from the opening tip. You see the focus. They're ready to do battle.
Pick by Zeller. Carter Williams, the pass to Bacon. From outside, off the mark. And here's Atlanta. They've allowed just 7 points here in the fourth quarter. Outside Durant. And so it's the Hawks taking care of business in this one. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. Kevin, how did you guys get this win tonight?
Well, we had to get stops. You know, those guys, they got so many options, so many good players, man. We just had to rally around each other and get stops.
Yeah, you guys played your best ball at the end and got the win. Congratulations. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for being with us. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.